Welcome to Simply Liminal. My name is Stacy. This is my daily 2-card reading for Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. This week we are working with the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle card by Stacy DeMarco. Of course, my name is Stacy. Her name is Stacy. I have never met her. I probably will never meet her, but I love this deck. This is a deck that I've had for a while, and I use it for my own shadow work. When I kind of want to look at my deep psyche, when I want to look at my shadow side, when I want to look at my unconscious behaviors, kind of to help myself work through, why I might have a temper, or why I might be insecure, or why I might respond with sarcasm, or why I might deflect things with humor when I need to be serious. Like, I think that we can learn a lot when we look into our shadow, and this deck is a beautiful one to help with that. I do want to read what she has on the back of it. She says here, there's great beauty and power in darkness. What if by stepping into the realm of the monsters and the things that go bump in the night, what seems twisted and dangerous is actually a torch leading us out of the darkness and into divine wholeness. I also think that working with our shadow is very important, and I have been reminded this last week that we are still in shadow season. I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, and so I believe that shadow season really falls to us from the fall equinox through the winter into the spring equinox. That is when we have more night than we have light, and therefore symbolically we are in the shadow. I think that every month we have a shadow cycle in the moon as well. When we're past, full moon is when we're fully in the light, really associated with the summer solstice. Whereas the new moon is when we are really in the depth of the darkness, when we associate the winter solstice. But in that time, from the third quarter moon through new into first quarter moon, that again is like a symbolic shadow stage that we're working with. Another good time to do shadow work is at that time of the moon cycle. But I want to let everyone know that I open up a circle of light and love and protection before I start these readings. And I invite in my spirit guides and guardians to help me work as a clear channel. This circle of light protects all the people who watch this video, no matter when it will be, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, or next year. You are protected in these readings. I'm going to continue to look at the 2-card pull, or do the 2-card pull that I've been doing since I started this channel. Though occasionally I've done larger readings, and each month I do a 3-card reading, which with our next deck in a couple days, we'll be looking at the energy of March. So I'll do a 3-card reading that day. But the energy basically is the force that's directed at us towards us from the universe or our environment or what's going on around us that day. And then the focus is our intention, our effort, or the response that we put into that. You can shuffle decks in multiple different ways. I tend to shuffle like that, but sometimes you can shuffle like this. Whoops, that card just jumped right out. I don't know. Did we just pick our 2 cards? That's crazy. I think I'm going with it. I don't normally shuffle the cards like that, and I was really called to do that. And so I'm just going to go ahead and say this is our reading for the day. This one flipped upside down. I guess we can leave it like that. This deck isn't designed to be read like that, but let's look at what the energy we have here. And like I said, this is going to be upside down. Here's our energy today. This is dragon, and the message here is treasure. And so I love the concept of dragons. Dragons hoarding treasures, dragons flying through the sky, dragons breathing fire, dragons of ice, dragons that are in the water, dragons that lie deep in the earth. So much dragon energy, and the treasure is the message here. And so I'm excited for the energy of this day. Like, bring it on Tuesday. So we have treasure coming at us. Now let me read what Stacy DeMarco has put in the book for this card. She says here, know what you treasure. Change is natural. Holding on to what is impossible in the long term. Protect what is important to you. Set proper boundaries, and trouble may avoid you. Be strategic, think ahead, be brave. You can actually triumph if you try. And the duality message here is value versus not of value, and hoarding versus scarcity. So this is interesting, because sometimes we get the measure of, I'm trying to think back of like to the story where a dragon will hoard everything and it won't share anything. It's got so much treasure and people want some of it, but it just hoards and hoards and hoards and it doesn't need it. So sometimes treasure can be too much. Sometimes treasure need to be shared. And so I'm not sure what this energy is going to be at us today, but I'm hoping that by looking at the focus card, we'll get a little bit clearer understanding of what we're going to do with this energy of treasure. Are we going to share our treasure? Are we going to look at what we have and decide these are the things that are most important and the rest of these things maybe can go? Maybe this is a message to us about having more things than we really need, and like releasing items and releasing clutter and helping free ourselves up for other energy. Well, anyways, let's look at our focus card. Here we have change. This is the werewolf card, but the message is change. So I'm just talking about like releasing clutter or items or things, and then what we're supposed to put into this is change. So maybe we need to allow those things, allow ourselves release, allow ourselves to kind of look at our treasure and decide what we really treasure and what maybe we can let slide to the side that might actually be a treasure for someone else. Let's look at this energy here for the werewolf card. And as I said, the message is change. This doesn't say very much here. It's pretty short and succinct. She says here, seek and acknowledge your true nature. Understand what is driving you. The duality message here is wild versus socialized and control versus chaos. I mean, I really think that's interesting when we have the dragon coming at us. Is our dragon in chaos or is our dragon controlled? Is our treasure in chaos? Is our treasure controlled? So the message here is change, but I think that we really need to look at ourselves, look at our environment. And I think if we deep down talk to ourselves, we'll know something about ourselves and how we can grow from this meaning. I think maybe this is telling us that we need to look at our stuff, look at the things around us, look at our job, look at our friends, look at the things we have and say which of them are truly treasures to us and which of them maybe can go to the side. I'm not saying get rid of friends, but I'm just saying maybe it makes you more aware of the ones that you need to really, you know, have in your life and allow change to come with the rest of those things. Maybe it's not about friends. Maybe it's about the fact that you have 4,000 books and you really don't need 4,000 books. I mean, I am kind of a book hoarder. I admit that. Maybe it's time that I need to look at this message and allow a little change into my life by releasing things that are not true treasures to me while narrowing it down to the things that are true treasures. I don't know. I'm curious about this day. I'm curious about this energy. Anytime I see a dragon in any oracle card deck, my heart lifts a little bit. There's something just magnificent about them. So I hope you found this reading helpful or connected with it in some way. I would love to hear what you're thinking about this card deck. We're down to one more day with this deck tomorrow, and I'm kind of sad to see it go. This is a deck that I love, you know, for shadow work, for shadow season, and I think it has great and strong messages for us and that we can learn a lot from it. But 7 days is coming, and you know, tomorrow will be day 7, and then we'll move on to a new deck. So anyways, please, I would love to hear what you think about this deck. I would love to hear if you've worked with this deck before or if you've worked with other decks. I do want to say something about Rockpool Publishing, which is who publishes this book. Rockpool has an app that you can download on your phone or your device, and they give you previews of many of their decks. I'm usually 4 or 5 cards in each deck, and it kind of pictures of them and the messages regarding them. And so if that's something you're interested in, look into that Rockpool app and just see what you think. I think it's a beautiful service that they do with their decks. So just a tip if you're interested. Anyways, thank you for visiting Simply Liminal with me today. My name is Stacy. Have a wonderful day. Dragons.